we're halfway through 2024. So like I did on a previous show where I talked about the first quarter statistics, the second quarter statistics are in. So are we still trending towards a better real estate market? It's the Real Estate Show. Welcome to the Real Estate Show. My name is Rick Naples. I am the owner-broker of Zone Realty LLC. You zone your home. This show, I wanted to talk about where we've been over the second quarter of this particular year, and is it starting to show a change happening in the real estate market? I'm filming today from Rick Creates Art Gallery. This is a art gallery which displays basically some creatings of my own in Bristol, Connecticut. So as we go through the show, I'll be changing positions so that you can see some of the art which will be behind me. Now, statistics. Where are we going? I mean, what's happening out there? Is there a positive change happening in the real estate market? Well, if you've been out driving around, you're probably seeing some more realtor signs going up in front of homes. We're towards the end of the spring season into the summer season and heading quickly towards fall. And a lot of people who have decided to sell are doing so to take advantage of the high prices that are out there in the market. Now, we do know that house prices have gone up, and we do know that interest prices have gone up. But buyers are still out there buying homes, and we're seeing more inventory start to come on the market. Now, there's a phenomenon that might happen as more homes come on the market, and that's going to be that there's going to be more competition out there. We might see, and I have seen, some houses come on the market, and right away within the first couple of weeks, the seller dropped the price, because they want to be more competitive. They want to entice that pool of buyers to come to their house rather than going to another house. We're also hearing murmurs that the federal government might drop the interest rates by the end of this year. And that's kind of making people have a little bit more positive attitude when it comes to maybe purchasing a home this particular year. Now, I don't see things happening until spring, summer next year, but that's just me. But again, we're starting to see some murmurs. So, statistics. I pulled some numbers, just basically looking at the second quarter, and these numbers are from the Multiple Listing Service. Now, the Multiple Listing Service is the service that realtors use to post homes that are for sale that other realtors who may have qualified and willing buyers can see. It's how they search for homes, besides the other different sites that are out there. Those statistics are gathered each quarter to kind of get an idea of where we're going in the market. What's happening? What are the trends? How fast are houses selling? What's the average price? And so on and so forth. The first number I want to talk about is the closed sales. Now, this number is 8,730 homes. 8,730 homes. Let me say that again, 8,730 homes in the last 3 months. Now, that's just our state, the state of Connecticut. So there are houses that are selling. It's not like houses are lamenting on the market because they're so high priced. They're selling. They're closing. People are moving still. There's always a need to buy a home. You know, families expand, situations change, sellers are retiring, they're going to different markets, they're maybe going to a different state, and they're looking to sell their home. There's always going to be a turnover of inventory, but how much inventory is out there drives the market. Interest rates also drive the market. So again, when you get a good combination of these two things coming together, we start to see the numbers going up. Now, over 8,000 closings. I mean, that's pretty impressive number. They were close to that during the first quarter. So in our state, houses are selling, but that number's nowhere near yet where it should be. We're still lower than where we have been in the past. Is that going to increase? Is it going to get better? Well, I think it will. As the general public, the buying market, and the sellers adjust to this new real estate atmosphere that we're in, we're going to see more homes come on the market. We're going to see homes still selling. Are they going to be selling as fast as they did in the past? You know, I heard stories, and I've seen stories, and I've experienced it, where I've listed a home, the home's going on the market at the upper edge of price range, and within a day, within a few hours, the house is sold. And usually for over the asking price. I recently had a neighbor of mine that put their house on the market, and there was a bidding war immediately within the first 4 days that it hit the market. And it ended up closing now at $30,000 over asking price. Now, if you told me this 5 years ago, 6 years ago, this is kind of things that would be happening, I'd say to you, well, maybe there's something special about the house. Maybe it came with a lot of acreage. Maybe there were additional outbuildings or something along those lines. But it's a phenomenon that's been happening over these last couple of years. Buyers want to buy a house. Sellers want to sell a house. Sometimes there's a little aggressiveness when it comes to that transaction going on, and buyers will compete for a home. Now, that's not just every home. That is homes that have something to offer. Now, on the real estate show, I've talked about staging your home and preparing your home and putting it on the market and things that you can do to make it appeal to the widest group of buyers. But even so, because the inventories are still low like they have been, you're going to find that there's still competition to buy those homes. So if you're a seller and you're thinking of going on the market, it's something to think about. If you're a buyer and you're thinking of buying a home, it's something to think about. Preparation is key. Whether you're a seller or a buyer, you want to make sure that you're prepared for this crazy market and you're prepared to get into it, that you have everything put together, you've talked to the right people, you've gotten a mortgage officer, you've hired a realtor, and you're able to have their counsel as to how to go through the transaction to put you in a position to sell your home for the most, and as a buyer, to get the most for your money. I'm in a different area of the art gallery, and there's a couple of pieces of art behind me, and I apologize for the shadowing, but this is kind of a darker area of the studio. So I'm talking about the number of houses that have been sold, and it's over 8,000 here in our state during this second quarter of 2024. That's billions of dollars transacting hands. The actual number is $4.9 billion in sales. I mean, that's a big number. But then again, with the average price of a home here in Connecticut, well over $350,000, it adds up. I mean, if you take that average price and do the multiplication times the number of sales, it's a large amount of dollars. Now, those dollars, most of them are being reflected because people are financing their homes as well as buying from cash. There's still a lot of cash buyers out there. There's still people that are buying houses fully cash. In fact, the folks that are putting monies in where they're buying more than the asking price of the house, they're usually the people that are in a cash position. They don't have to worry about a bank appraisal because an appraisal can squash a deal. If a house is listed for XYZ and someone comes in and makes an offer over that particular XYZ, if the house doesn't appraise higher, they're not going to get the financing and they have to make up the difference cash. So if they're buying cash to begin with, that doesn't come into play. This kind of knocks the first-time buyers right out of the market, those of us that need to purchase a home and need to put a mortgage on it in order to be able to get it. So if you're not in a cash position, you might find yourself at a little bit of a disadvantage. However, as I said, houses are still selling. Houses are still being financed. Mortgages are still happening. Sometimes when you get an overbidding situation, the buyer's going to put the money down that's needed over and above what they can get a mortgage on. So you're seeing some creative things being done. Instead of putting 20 or 25% down, they may use that 20 or 25% to overbid with and finance a normal FHA type loan with 3.5% or 3% down. So we're seeing some creativeness being done. The banks are cautious with the value of the homes as far as how they're going to put the mortgage on it. They don't want to pay too much for the house, as well as the buyer doesn't want to pay too much for the house. But again, it's an interesting market that we're in. With billions and billions of dollars changing hands, it seems to me like the market is getting stronger, that homes are continuing to sell even though the interest rates might be a little bit higher. Now, when those interest rates come down, we may see the market stimulate and we may see more houses come up for sale. Now, there's another interesting number. What about rentals? What's happening in the rental market? Well, the rental market's been pretty strong. I mean, rents out there are insane, right? I mean, a 2-bedroom apartment is pretty expensive. 1-bedrooms have gotten expensive. I saw a studio the other day for $1,200 a month, and I said to myself, what? Back in the day when I was renting a studio apartment, my rent was like $550 a month, and I thought that was expensive. You know, studio apartments, that's one room. You know, you don't have a separate bedroom. Maybe you have a bathroom. That's about it. Your kitchen's in your bedroom. It's that kind of situation. They're going for about what 1-bedrooms went for 2 years ago. So is there a rental market out there? Are rents happening? Are people paying those high prices for rents? Well, yes, they are. Statistically, it says here that 3,288 rentals closed during these last 3 months. Well, that tells me people need apartments and they're out there renting no matter what the prices are. It's just a shame that they've gotten so expensive. One of the things that realtors do when they're working with buyers is they take them out to look at homes, right? I mean, we call that a showing. We're going to go show a house. In some areas of the country, they call that visits. But in either case, realtors will take their buyers out to show them a home that's up for sale. And they may show them several during the time that they're out together. They may go 1, 2, depends. Usually they're taking them out, or mostly they're taking them out, to homes that are within the price range of what that buyer is looking to buy. And if they decide to move forward and make an offer, usually the realtor that's representing them will call the listing agent to find out if there's any other offers on the home. Now, sometimes they don't have to do that because the listing agent will make it known to all the other agents that are out there that there's already offers, that we're in a multiple offer situation. And this is where the competition really starts to get a little crazy. Sometimes people will just walk away because they just know they're not going to be able to compete with other people that might be out there. But showings are the lifeblood of a buyer's agent. This is how we find homes for people to buy. We secure our buyer through a buyer representation agreement. We talk to them about their wants and needs. We find homes that may fit those wants and needs, and then we go out and we take a look. We go out and take showings. Now again, the statistics in the MLS, this is just for the last 3 months. This is an impressive number. In this particular case, they say that there were over 64,000 showings in the last 3 months. Now, that's counting, people going out and looking at houses. That's not 64,000 houses were looked at. That's 64,000 plus times that a realtor went out with a buyer to look at a home. So, one buyer could look at 10, 12, 25 different homes. But it's still an impressive number. And it's starting to go up because more inventory is starting to come on the market. So as a result, we are seeing homes getting sold. Like I said, over 8,000 homes sold and closed during this last quarter. Now, what's this all mean? I mean, numbers are kind of boring, but they do show us stuff. As a realtor who's been in this business for almost 22 years now, I've seen all kinds of trends. I've seen strong markets, weak markets, strange markets, but I've never seen a market quite like this one, where people are fighting financially to purchase homes. I haven't seen home prices this high in all those years. The average house is coming on the market and it's still selling within 7 to 10 days. Some houses are taking a little longer, but again, it depends on where the house is and what it has to offer. But mostly houses are selling relatively quickly. One of my talks that I have with sellers when we're looking to list a home is we always talk about what their other options are going to be. What's their plan B? What are you going to do if you put your home on the market and it sells for what you want right away, and that particular buyer wants you out of the house in 2 weeks? Is that possible? Is it impossible? There's a lot to consider for a seller when an offer comes in. And the realtor is going to spend time to go through the offer and what the offer's saying, what the merits of that offer are. Because sometimes the caveat of too good to be true may come into play. You may get somebody that makes an offer on your home. It's over your asking price, but maybe it's structured a little weird. Maybe they're saying they're going to buy it all cash. They're going to come up to the front of the house with a wheelbarrow full of money and they're going to buy that house. And they're buying it way over what you're asking for. Are they in a position where they can do that? It becomes your realtor's job to verify that they have the monies to do that, either through a banker's letter or through some kind of a verification that they have the ability to purchase for that cash amount. If they're financing, do they have a mortgage in place? Have they already gone through the mortgage process? What's going to be involved? If they're overbidding on the house and they're financing, there could be an appraisal issue. You have to be careful. You've got to follow the guidance of your realtor when these offers come in to pick the offer that's going to go from beginning to end with little or no surprises or problems. The real estate market has always been a challenge, and this is why you need to work with a realtor. Realtors are trained for all the ups and downs that there are in a real estate market. Some of them have been around for a long time, so they've seen the different market shifts and they've seen the different changes, and they've been able to navigate through different challenges as they go through the sales projects. Other realtors are brand new. They've just recently got licensed. But that shouldn't stop you from working with them, because they usually work on a team, they have a broker, or they have other agents within their office that are seasoned that they can go to help them help their customers navigate through different challenges. You have to remember that real estate, realtors, that's a profession. People do this as their job. You are hiring them as a seller to do a job. That job is to get the home sold. You are hiring them to help you find a home so you can buy a home and get it through the process and get to a closing and own that home. You're hiring a professional. You're hiring a specialist. Can you go about it on your own? Yeah. You can go to court and defend yourself without an attorney. Sure. You can build a deck without a contractor. Sure. You can do some plumbing, electrical work, without hiring a professional. Sure. But do you want to? Do you want to take on that challenge? Do you want to do something that maybe you're not an expert in? So talk to realtors, talk to mortgage officers, talk to friends, talk to relatives, talk to your neighbors when it comes to selling your home. As a buyer, talk to people who have been through the process. Maybe get a recommendation from them as to the realtor they worked for or worked with. Make sure that you're pretty much prepared to go through the market and all the challenges that may present themselves. Let's take just kind of a quick walk around the art gallery and look at some art, and I'll be back with some final comments. This is just some of the art that is displayed at Rick Creates Art that I just wanted to take some time to showcase. The art is all acrylic based art. It is, some of them are 16 by 20, some of them are a little bit bigger. But again, this is artwork that I have done during my short art career. Some of it is what's called a pouring technique, where you just mix the art together and pour it on the canvas and see what you get. Others is just a painting. This one's called Stained Glass Window, for obvious reasons. This is some more of the artwork that's hanging on the walls. Some of it is press technique, brush technique, dribble technique, stroke technique, mixtures of different types of art. Let's kind of take a closer look. That one's just paint strokes. This is a press art picture. Just basically pressing and using different types of tools to make the art. This is a brush stroke. Here's one that was made kind of sort of with cookie cutters and brush stroke. This one was done in the artist studio. I was joking around with fellow artists. I was looking at a blank canvas, and I came up with this particular idea to just write the word blank. What are you going to paint today, Rick? Well, I'm drawing a blank. So there you go. This one was a exercise in trying to do human hair on a painting. I think it came out okay. Another press piece of art. And what they call a drip and stroke technique. This is just white on black. A couple of more shape press art on canvas. This painting is, I call it Carnival. It actually was made out of some styrofoam florist rings, you know, the kind of rings that you buy at the craft store that you would stick flowers and things in to make displays. And I basically just painted them and put them on a couple double canvases and painted some color background, but it makes an interesting display. Kind of a party carnival atmosphere. And we'll end our art tour with these two paintings. The one that's on my left is called Package. It is actually multi-dimensional. It's built up canvas on canvas to make it look like a package. There actually was a bow on it, which somewhere along the line got lost, but basically that one's called Package. And the other one was just an experiment of making something very simple. One of my grandkids calls this a mushroom. They see a mushroom in it, so that's basically that particular painting. So this concludes my little tour of the artwork that's in the Rick Creates Gallery in Bristol, Connecticut. And I thank you for having the patience to let me showcase some of my art. This has been The Real Estate Show. My name is Rick Naples, and I thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, hoy, hoy, hoy!
Hi, I'm Jay McCormick, a board director at Nutmeg TV, your local public TV station right here in Farmington. Nutmeg TV has been an integral part of our community for over 30 years, providing a platform for residents to share stories, voice concerns, and celebrate achievements. It's a vital resource that connects us all, bringing countless local events to our TV screens. The topics are limitless and vary from being aware of scams to veterans helping veterans. Nutmeg TV continues to be here for the community. To continue this important work, we're asking for your support through a donation. Your contribution will ensure that Nutmeg TV remains a robust and relevant resource for our community. Thank you for supporting Nutmeg TV. Together, we can continue to amplify the voices and stories that make our community unique and vibrant.
To make a donation, simply visit our website at nutmegtv.com or call the office at 860-321-7405 for assistance.